Hey everyone, this is Abagus with the Spuff of Legend, and we here at Spuff just wanted to throw our names in with everyone doing the hashtag SaveTF2 event, which is a big community showcasing of support for our beloved game. It's happening on May 26th, and really, Team Fortress 2 has had such a huge impact, not just on us, not just on the other content creators, but on all the millions of players who've experienced it over the many years that we've all been able to play this game. You know that we here at Spuff stands for the Steam-Powered User Forums, and we were originally dedicated to the Team Fortress 2 official Valve forums. Now, those forums have long since been shut down. The Steam community user discussions, I believe, is what they use nowadays. But really, every single video on our YouTube channel, every article on the Daily Spuff blog, none of that would have existed if it weren't for Team Fortress 2. That was the game where me and Phobos first met each other, where a lot of our first article writers back in the day originally posted their ideas on the Spuff forums and then turned them into articles for us. And really, I couldn't have picked a better game to get started my kind of article writing videography career with, because it's just such an expansive game. There's really nothing else out there like Team Fortress 2. The characters are so multifaceted and well designed, and the writing is just top notch, be it in game, in extracurricular comics and world building videos, and there's just so much content. There are enough weapons to have any conceivable play styles. And one thing I've always appreciated about TF2, this video is mostly just going to be me talking about reasons I love Team Fortress 2, the way that they balance their unlocks. I mean, the fact that there are no pay-to-win weapons, like there are weapons that are more powerful than other weapons, but everything comes with at least a bit of red text. And in general, it's designed to be a side grade to what you can equip otherwise. And then they didn't go the boring way of making side grades where everything just has minor stat tweaks. Like, just let's take the Soldier Shotgun, for example. Think of most games you play of. The Soldier Shotgun, like imagine the way they would do unlocks if it was just like, here's an unlock, it's a side grade, it's plus 50% recoil speed, but plus or minus 25% firing speed. And that's kind of what you get. I mean, just think of games like CSGO, the way that all the rifles are different. They definitely play differently, and there's nothing wrong with the way that normal games create their side grades. But then you look at Team Fortress 2, where you're replacing sniper rifles with bows and arrows, and SMGs with jars of Girardi or Razorback shields, and or shotguns with flare guns and shotguns with sandwiches. And the fact that the unlocks are completely different, like 500% different from the way that the weapon that they're replacing plays, and that they are still nonetheless side grades, creating completely standalone play styles that you wouldn't have had before, is just something really commendable about TF2's unlock system. There's no progression system. You don't keep playing and level up skill trees, and when you log in for the first time, when you create your Team Fortress account, you technically have a loadout that could serve you right up until the end of your Team Fortress career, and any weapons you unlock you can equip immediately. Not that there's anything wrong with games that use progression systems, but the raw focus on gameplay and the not limiting options behind things such as playtime is something I really appreciate about Team Fortress 2's design. It's just such a pure and simple arena shooter where pretty much anybody can find a playstyle that really resonates with them, and all 9 classes are so distinct from each other, and you can play them in any way you want. It revolutionized gaming in a bunch of different ways, some of which are better than others. A bunch of gameplay mechanics from Team Fortress 2 are now visible everywhere. I really feel like it was one of the first games that had the multiplayer, really creating really solid characters, which you can see everywhere nowadays. Apex Legends, Overwatch. You don't just have the gunner, the engineer, in terms of, well, he has a shotgun and he repairs buildings. No, everybody makes actual characters now, and we have Team Fortress 2 to thank for that. But also when it comes to monetization systems, you look at that lock and key system with the crates that you could unbox, originally unlocks but later strange weapons. That had a huge impact. I wouldn't even say it's a positive impact, but you can see those bloody loot boxes everywhere throughout the gaming industry these days, and we have Team Fortress 2 to thank for that. Strange weapons in TF2 are another one I can think of. When they added an ability to track your kills, that had a huge impact. And You see strange weapons in CSGO and Dota 2, and a lot of other games just will track your stats in some sort of statistics page, which wasn't as common back before Team Fortress 2 came out. Now, I do know that I don't play Team Fortress 2 as much as I used to, and the bot problem is definitely part of it and the reason for this whole Save TF2 event. Obviously, TF2 isn't going anywhere, but it's rendered pretty much unplayable at this point because of all the spin botting, aim botting, username stealing bots that are just everywhere in casual play. You can mostly get around these by going to community servers, but this is hurting the general gameplay experience for new players who jump in and haven't tried Team Fortress 2 before. When they jump in and Valve funnels them into casual servers, they have an absolute garbage time because they're getting spin shot by hackers, and they just are gonna log out and never try what could be one of the greatest games of their entire life. So I know that I and most everybody else in hashtag Save TF2, are all attempting to spread some awareness and maybe possibly get through to Valve that we really would like some sort of anti-cheat updates, anything that they need to do. I mean, they've made some rough changes over the years. I remember when they made it so that you couldn't install a bunch of mods anymore. You know, Valve has always been very positive towards modding, but nowadays a lot of models, textures, pretty much anything that isn't non-animated spray, you can't really get away with on Valve servers anymore, and that was in part to combat hacking. It didn't work, clearly, and now we just can't use cool mods. I remember I used to have an AK-47 mod for the Sniper SMG. But you know what? That was a valid sacrifice if it had worked, and if they need to make changes so that it's tougher for hackers to do things, and I just would encourage them to do so, because none of us want to see TF2 looking the way it is these days. We want to see a really fun, playable user experience for new and old players, and hopefully we can get that at some point. So if you love TF2, if you want to participate in hashtag Save TF2, all you got to do, leave a tweet, post comments in other YouTube videos, or this YouTube video if you really fancy, but I don't think Valve is checking the YouTube comment section for this particular video. But just let your voice be heard, like the rest of us. And that's pretty much all I had to say today. Thank you, TF2, for... Let's see, I joined in 2011. For 11 wonderful years of gameplay. Hopefully we can have many more in the future. I hope you're all having a great day, whether you play TF2 or not. This is Abagus with a Spuff of Legend, signing off.